guys, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my kitchen as well. It has been a minute since we visited this amazing space, and so today we are going to be making some chocolate chip cookies, vanilla cookies. They're not chocolate chips per se. I'll be using this chocolate compound, the brown and the white. Yeah, I had this pre-prepared earlier. I'll just chop it up, have it in the oven for it to bake as I show you how we prepare the dough, and then we make the white chocolate cookies. Stay tuned, it's about to get interesting and very simple. This is a very amazing recipe. You can try it at home. 3 ingredients at most. You really don't need all this, but just for today we're gonna use all this. I'm going to show you what is must and what is not, and then guys, hit that subscribe button if you've not yet hit it, and let's continue growing. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for always showing up, for the views, for the likes, subscriptions. I don't take it for granted. I love you so much. And let's get into these. Our ingredients of the day: we have a cup of butter, we have 2 cups of flour. You can use self-raising flour or the normal all-purpose flour, but if you do use the all-purpose flour, you are required to add a teaspoon of baking powder or baking soda. We are going to be using white and brown chocolate compound. This is white sugar, and this is a cup of white sugar and a cup of brown sugar at the bottom. I also have a teaspoon of salt in there. You can use 1 egg yolk and 1 egg, but I'll be using 2 eggs in this recipe. A teaspoon, like half a cup of milk. This is not really a must. For the must-have ingredients, that is sugar, butter, and the flour. I'll also be using vanilla to add more flavor. I'll melt my butter for ease in mixing, and I chop up my chocolate compound to come up with huge chunks that I'll then incorporate into my flour, into my dough after it is done. This is very simple. Our prepared dough, I had this prepared yesterday. It's been in the freezer for a while, and so I'm going to chop it up, have it in the oven for 15 minutes as I show you guys how to prepare the dough. This is by far the simplest cookie recipe you'll come across in this platform. Please enjoy it, try it, let me know how you like it. This is very simple. Please try it, let me know how you like it. I'll have my butter. Ooh, yeah. We're at that certain milestone that we just cream, so you'll have a lot of that in this video. So I'm going to have my butter melting in the microwave. This will help me in having easier mixing process, and as this melts just for a minute or 2, I'll have this, chop it into huge chunks for them to be incorporated into my mixture. Yeah, into my mixture. In this recipe, I'll be using white chocolate compound, 2 pieces, and a piece of brown chocolate compound. This type of knife is easier to help you chopping it up because it can be a little bit hard. It is not a little bit hard, it's seriously very hard. If you have a bigger knife, the better. Oh my god. Our butter is well melted. This is a cup of butter, so it's well melted. You don't need it hot, you just need it to be easier to mix into your dough. In my mixture, I'm going in with sugar. This is a cup of sugar, a teaspoonful of salt, a cup of brown sugar, and a cup of white sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. Then you mix this in here. Have everything in. Whisk until you get a nice mixture-like consistency. If you have a mixer, a hand mixer, or if you have any kind of mixer, the better. That will be a bit quick. You need to exercise a lot of patience when you're doing this, because you don't need your consistency to be lumpy or your sugar to be unmelted. 1 tablespoon of vanilla here. Since I'm going to add chocolate, I'm tempted to add just a few drops. See, but I don't want it to be overpowering. I'm also going to add in 2 eggs. I added in the 2 eggs, these 2 eggs and some milk, and I'll mix this until you have a smooth consistency. You really have to have a lot of energy for this. You can see right now the butter, the eggs, they don't look like they are well incorporated in here. So you mix thoroughly until everything is pretty. Oh no, I can't imagine that the audio of this part is missing. Anyway, my mixture for the wet ingredients is perfectly done. I highly recommend the brown vanilla extract because it kind of boosts the color of the cookies and the color of the whole mixture. So you're gonna add your flour in bits into this mixture and then fold it in. But for easier folding, you can go in with a spatula. You can either use the whisk . Looks like I'll be narrating this entire part. I can't imagine I'm missing so much audio, but there's nothing much in the video. Just mix up your flour until you get such consistency. Add your flour in bits. Don't add it all at once. Then you can use the folding in method. It's easier and gives you better and smoother mixture. You'll then add in your chocolate. You can make a tiny pocket at the center of the dough and then add in your chocolate. This will help you in easier spreading. At this point, you can either use your hands to make or go for a spatula, whichever works for you. In this page, we have more of these videos, we have more recipes, we have more homemaking videos, we have more parenting videos. You need to subscribe to this page because you're really missing a lot. Hit that subscribe button, hit it hard enough, and let's get to 2,000 subscribers. I love you guys so much. Look at how pretty this dough is. This is the kind of consistency we look for. In this recipe, I also added some few cashew nuts. I crushed them. I didn't use a knife. I just used my hands to roughly crush them and then added them in the dough. This will add some flavor as well. Ensure that your nuts are pre-cooked. You don't need to add anything raw that might take a longer time to be prepared, because remember this only takes at most 20 minutes in the oven. It is highly recommended that you let your dough rest in the freezer or the fridge for at least 1 hour or more. So I'm going to let mine rest in the freezer for 2 hours. Then it will be easier to scoop and all the flavors would have incorporated very well. I'm not so sure about that, but well, let's find out. When you have had your dough in the freezer, it's easier to cut it up for smaller pieces for you to have the nice shaped cookies. So I'm just going to cut it up with the film on it. Whispers are the ancestors. So So remember, we already had some in the oven that were cooking at for 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. This is the result. Crusty, pretty, they're looking so good. So as that rests, we want to have this in our cookie jar or have it with a glass of milk anyway. So this should be your result. We'll have this for 2 hours, bake it, and then I'll be back to still show you how this turned out, because this has more ingredients, more experience. This was my first attempt actually, so this has more ingredients, better mixing, heavier consistency. We just want to see if that is as crusty as this or it's as chewy as this, because this is a masterpiece. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 hours. Wow. Wow. This is some piece of heaven here. Oh my god. It has been 2 hours. This is our flour. Our dough, this is how it's looking like. It's been in the freezer for 2 hours. Look at that. It's a bit stiff, which is kind of a good thing. So after having the dough in the fridge for 2 hours in the freezer, this is how it looks like. More settled. It looks like ready. It looks ready actually. So I'm going to chop this one piece of milk compound chocolate so that I'll have it on top of the cookies as they cook. So I'll scoop some of this and also have it in my baking tray. I'm reusing the paper that I had in the previous ones that we made at the start of the video. So let's do that. Aside and back to our dough. I use this big spoon to scoop some even sizes. You need some energy for that. You see? Ensure your hands are clean so that you can shape this into some kind of a bowl.
In the heart of the whispering forest, solitude embraces me.
I'm not going to add in the chocolate. You just poke them on top like that.
Free, peering through green canopy.
It has been 20 minutes and this is the result we have right here. These are melty, pretty, good. I love them. This kind of weather, a warm glass of milk and some cookies is the only way to go. So try this recipe. Let me know how you like it. It took at most 20-30 minutes to prepare and to bake. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying tuned till now. My name is Mawa. My good name is Mawa. And until next time, adios.
In ripples of silver.